entire series history, won both matchups last season. The last Ohio State win in College Park was early January 2016. So an opportunity for a statement on both sides. Maryland 0-3 against ranked teams this season. Ohio State looking for win number 4 this year. And we're underway with the Buckeyes taking control. Normal starting lineups on both sides. And J.C. Sheldon sees an opportunity to get her first 3 off. No good that time, but flying in is McMahon.
And absolutely, in Maryland, they worked on this. If they lose the tip, if they lost a tip, they were going to fall back into that zone, and that's important when you talk about the rebounding. In the zone, you're more vulnerable. You got to find players boxing out, especially a player like McMahon, who's a rebounding player.
That was one of the main things Coach Freeze told us, keep McMahon off the offensive glass. And one more try for the Buckeyes here on possession number 1.
The Buckeyes are the team that plays on possessions. That's where they're most successful, getting as many possessions as possible. One way to do that is securing the offensive glass.
Snaking along the baseline, quick ball movement. It's McMahon for 3, left short. A sigh of relief by the Terps. Jakia Brown-Turner snaking underneath, and a jump ball is called. Possession arrow right here. Kevin McGuff in his 11th season at the helm of the Buckeyes. Feeling like his team continues to try and find its peak. This is a team last year that started the season 19-0, and they are still looking for what their identity is going to be. Fantastic block, igniting a fast break for the Buckeyes. Sheldon being guarded by Cheyenne Sellers. Both these players take a lot of pride in their defense as well. Mikulasikova straight on, and she drains it. She is a threat from long range.
A threat from long range, and that's a luxury to have, that versatility, especially in that post with her size, being able to stretch the floor.
Off the turnover, it is Sheldon following her own shot. And back in the possession of the Terps. A little bit of a choppy start for Maryland. Cheyenne Sellers stepping into that point guard role, looking for that pick and pop with Kubek. One of 4 1,000-point scorers on this Terps team. All by herself is Taylor Thierry. That is left short, but Maryland surrounding a couple of wide open threes. Turning on the Jets, McDaniel. How did she do it?
Bring that spark back. Have another look at it. She is so strong on her attack downhill, and I mean, just look at that layup. Just a beast. Getting downhill, uses her body well with the and one.
Relentless, fearless. She is a fiery competitor you see at all times. And talking to her this season, she
see Maryland in the zone now. They'll switch things up, make miss.
Mikulasikova loses it. Maryland feeling ignited. McDaniel also handling point guard duties for this team in her second season and ascendant year. For the sophomore, Renee Alexander, an incredible finish. Thierry this time able to penetrate, but drawing the charge. Get to see the vaunted, suffocating full court press. Almost turning over Brown-Turner.
But I'll tell you what, the key to breaking that press, all you got to do is get past that front line, right? That front line is just so raw, like in your face, aggressive. But once you get past it, they can be very vulnerable on the backside.
Nice positioning inside. Masonis is
talking to her as well.
Sellers is back in after a couple of minutes as Ricky Harris leaves that 3 short, and she collides into McMahon. She has no fear about her body on the floor. Madison Green, an elegant move up the middle.
Or else Sloan will be doing the game by herself.
He can handle it, but maybe he could wait till post. Masonis gives it to Fisher, and she is fouled. Get from the free throw line. It is their bread and butter, especially because they're not that major three-point. McDaniel working hard on the glass, and she keeps the possession alive before it's coughed up. 4 turnovers the last 4 minutes for the Terps. Sheldon. But JC Sheldon is prolific as any player in the Big Ten at getting to the free throw line herself. Here is McMahon and Green up at that front, and Briggs quickly breaks it. McDaniel flying to the rim, and she converts. And look at McDaniel ratcheting up the defense too. She is a fierce defender as well. 1 and done for the Buckeyes on that possession. And wide open underneath, Brown Turner. Well, coming of age story about the early days of Ted and his best buddy John. Stream Ted now only on Peacock. Back here at Xfinity Center. All the energy with the Terrapins. Ohio State, 1 of their last 7. They've really not found some good rhythm in this zone. But a good start there, the finish by Ebony Walker.
Absolutely. Faith Masona just got clocked too high, but that backside of the zone, that was Turner there. You got to communicate and see that there.
A lot of length on the perimeter for this Maryland team. You look at Briggs and Brown Turner as well. McMahon, beautiful work with Brown Turner. The spin doesn't fall. Following it up is Fisher, and she is fouled. That is now 2 personals on Celeste Taylor. She's staying in at the moment.
Absolutely, and she's a vet coming from 2 defensively stout programs that play that aggressive defense, that pick up fouls, but know how to kind of control it so that they can build that trust to be able to stay in the game.
McDaniel orchestrating this offense. They're going to retreat. 5 to shoot for the sophomore. Difficult shot. Misses everything. And make things happen, including things that don't go down in the box score, like that last possession.
Absolutely. She's a player that can have a major impact on the game without scoring a point for them, like you said.
Celeste Taylor draining. Snatched away. Of course, it's Taylor. Sparking the fast break, and she takes it in this conference with the kind of skills she has. McDaniel is stuffed on the baseline. And getting it right back, and she drains the long 2. 2 seconds left for Green, and they turn it over. Briggs glanced up. She put a lot of work in this offseason. She spent a month back home in Chicago, and she said, no fun this time. We are focused on nutrition. We are working out twice a week. Even got her family in on that health journey. But for her, it was buckling down, focusing on what she needed to get better at, and it's paying dividends.
No, absolutely. She had a goal in mind, right? Especially when you're trying to be more on that facilitating side. 2 things you got to do. You got to get in the film room, watch the offense, and then you got to get in great shape.
Masonis, like stop and pop. It's Taylor, not there that time.
And I think slowing the Buckeyes down and playing in that zone defense, keeping them out the paint has been great. Biggest area you got to watch out for is defensive rebounding for the Terps.
Brown Turner.
And what a game that she's come off with, having 18 points, 9 rebounds, just being that longer guard, a mismatch nightmare. That's another key player that, Coach Freeze really wants to see, some production from.
Cotie McMahon, the spin move, her pass. Sonis working her way inside. That's a tough player to leave open for 3. Just too long there for Alexander.
Masona is such a great facilitator, and, Brenda Freeze loves her in that small lineup, playing in that post, so they're able to work it inside out and find those open guards.
Mikulasikova, what a...
Absolutely. We see her. She likes to pick and pop. She likes to shoot it, but she's going to get things done. She's going to work in that post, and we saw that a lot in the Michigan State game that you had, son.
Brene Alexander makes it a 4-point Maryland lead.
Can't leave her open too many times. She's going to knock it down.
Mikulasikova just rims out. Flying in is Thierry. She practically pulled that off the rim. Sellers up ahead to McDaniel. An excellent play. Sellers, 2 fouls. Also has 3 turnovers, no buckets. Thierry is one of the most disciplined players he's ever had. She's shooting 63% from the field, but he wants her to block.
Absolutely, you're right on point. She's so efficient, so she kind of flies under the radar.
Turner almost dragging that pivot foot. And Misonis puts it right into the lap of Taylor. Numbers for the Buckeyes. She says, I got it. Takia Brown-Turner sees her chance, gets Taylor in the air.
They're going to have to be really locked in on their transition defense.
An example of Misonis' versatility for this team as well. Mikulasikova, the spin cycle.
Quickness, craftiness, and you see that there in that post move.
The last 2 seasons has brought her game out to the three-point line. She says, I will still score back to the basket, too. And box out.
She dominated, was a force, a menace in the paint. That was a huge key in that win.
It's McDaniel against Sheldon. Won by McDaniel.
She's going to get to the rim and she's going to get it in.
Taken away by Brene Alexander. Brown-Turner lays it in.
What a momentum play there for the Terps. 2 stops and 2 runs in transition. McDaniel first getting the initial lay-in and then facilitating on the second one.
It's normally Ohio State scoring off of opposing team turnovers.
I was like second-guessing myself. Let's double-check.
No, there's a break in between. Sometimes there's a lot that connects it in your memory. Game in which she was 2 of 8 at the free throw line, about 60% shooting.
Backside has to be there.
Yeah, that could have been easy too. As Harris takes it away. Sheldon sprinting up ahead and is fouled by McDaniel.
Absolutely.
4th in the Big Ten in points per game. Also incredibly efficient as well. Misonis throws it up and taken by Harris.
And she had the ball that entire possession, so great job with Ohio State just locking down and forcing that tough 2.
And rhythm 3, not there for McMahon. Parks just has it fall through. Tyre Parks still finding her role on this team, but clearly McGuff wanting to bring in some size and rebounding in this stretch.
A 3-level scorer. I've covered her in Florida plenty of times. That is a talented kid. Another scorer there. Had to deal with some injuries, finding her footing, but comes in clutch when needed.
Emma Shoemate. Sheldon taking it out with 2.5 to play here in half number 1. Gets away from McMahon and Briggs snatches it away. McDaniel's been the go-to facilitator. The Sellers on the bench with 2 personals. McDaniel, incredible pass and the finish. At the end of last season, she went to Brenda Freeze and said, I want to be a point guard. That's what I was in high school. I can do that for you. And that takes a lot of courage and confidence to do that.
I mean, you're telling Coach, hey, I want to run the team offensively. I want to be the floor general.
McMahon, downhill speed, a blocking foul. Bring up a great point. When I see Cotie McMahon play, I sometimes describe it as a freight train. But McDaniel might go in that category too. That was quite a collision.
Absolutely, and I love that matchup there too.
Pick and slip. Brown-Turner, 3 red jerseys around her. Need to shoot for Briggs. Tried to barrel to the rim. From the high post, likes what she sees. Shoemate untouched, making something happen. Alexander, and it's blocked by Shoemate. And Harris, no surprise, the effort to get to that loose ball and keep it in. Sheldon sees her lane. And Harris, he's going to reset.
She was so chill with it too, like, come on guys, give me the ball, let's reset. Everybody calm down.
Look at that. 5 to shoot for Sheldon. Good look at a three, and that's off targets. Largest lead by either team has been 5. The last time these two teams met, the final game of the regular season last year, went down to the final minute. A 2-point Maryland victory, who won both games in last season's series. Mikulasikova lining it up from 3 and chased down by Sellers. Back on the floor, limited to 8 minutes in that first half. The Terrapins shot 50% in the first 20 minutes as Sellers is fouled by Sheldon. And that is going to be number 3 on Sheldon.
Tough call there. That's a close one. Sheldon moving her feet, got position there.
Brown-Turner off targets. Still trying to get J.C. Sheldon involved, but she has been blanketed by McDaniel in this matchup the times they've been one-on-one. Taylor drops it in to Mikulasikova. Help defense not there in time for a nice-looking chip.
Absolutely right on the money. Kubek stepped up for the help. That second helper on the inside has to be there on that slip.
Sellers plowing ahead.
Aggressive on your attack and get to that free throw line.
Celeste Taylor, meanwhile, has 3.
And that's huge. You talk about some of the top defenders on this Ohio.
Against Mikulasikova a couple seconds ago. 3 seconds to play. And Taylor again off target on 3. Good rhythm for Briggs. She's got it. Briggs, great size, a tremendous score. And the Terps locked in to start the third quarter. Mikulasikova, the playmaker.
Her playmaking ability, which is huge when you're able to do it out of the paint, out of the high post. I think this is another way for Ohio State to get into the paint, whether it's drives or passing it inside and out.
Lavender Briggs too strong. Jakia Brown-Turner cleaning up the glass.
We've had a talk with the Terps about getting on the glass, even on the glass, but especially on the defensive end. Ohio State's really been exposing the vulnerability of the zone, so that's an area where I think on the rebounding end that Maryland can really improve on in this half.
Mikulasikova.
Yeah, I think she said, I have too many pain points now. I want to hit one from outside.
Celeste Taylor gathering up the loose ball. And up ahead to Mikulasikova. And cleaning it up that time.
Be aggressive on your attack.
Wide open for 3. That bounces out and Briggs keeps it alive. Daniel hounded by McMahon. 10 to shoot. Nice crossover and the extension. Was poked away. McDaniel off to the races. It's 1 versus 2. She leaves it short. And a jump ball off the... McDaniel probably wants that one back. Briggs puts her head down to the rim. Points now for Briggs in her second season in College Park. McMahon answering right back.
McMahon just utilizing her body, utilizing her space, her speed, her footwork to be able to work out in that second line of the zone right around the rim.
That is the move that defines McMahon, what led her to the Big Ten Freshman of the Year last year. And that reached
so much progression in her game, and I think it's just such a luxury to have a Bree Jones on your roster.
6th player of the year in the WNBA a couple seasons ago. And a great reference point there. Harris finds the seam.
Defensive end team, you have the star players in a position where they're not having their typical nights. It is key, and that's what you want.
She goes 2 for 2, and she's having a career year from there. Sellers still looking to get going. Dials up the long 2 and a perfect. Her first bucket this evening.
First bucket, much needed bucket. Not even just for the team, but for herself as well.
You've got to like how that one felt and sounded going into as a shooter, as a scorer. Harris threads the needle underneath, and Thierry powers it up and through. Sellers with a long two. That just rims out, and Thierry corrals it. Approaching 2 to play here in quarter number 3. Tied up once more. Madison Green tight-roping along the baseline. It's Mikulasikova letting it fly.
Where the Buckeyes can be good. Maryland is playing a miss-make, so when they miss the shot, they have to go back in the man. So Ohio State, the key is going to be starting on the defensive end. They get the stop here. Watch, Maryland's going to go back into a man, and that opens up those driving lanes, able to move the ball around.
Green fumbles it, tries to get it back, and safely Ohio State possession. Won the dub chain that Ohio State hands out, and she's doing the same thing tonight. Now McDaniel will orchestrate this offense. One-on-one against Green, trying to clear it out for her.
And Maryland running that 4-flat offense.
Sellers turning the corner. She is fouled.
Such a luxury. And then especially when you talk about the Terps being able to play small.
Sue Bird, it's always nice to hear women's basketball players inspired by other women's basketball players. And credit to the coaches that allow those plays so she could become who she is now. 7 to shoot for the Buckeyes. Excellent give and go. Harris can't finish it, and she is slow to get up.
This is advantage for the Terps here in transition.
Daniel loses it. Keeps it alive though. Mistonis tries to drop the time. The lob, and Brown Turner has that rattle out. A whistle as Sellers and Harris get a little chippy going for that loose ball.
Things indeed getting a little chippy. You see Sellers and Harris there. Name of the game.
That is 3 on Sellers. The fiery competitors that there are. You add in that it's Big Ten play. It's mid-January, and it's close. While Ohio State is looking to extend its win streak to 4. Shot clock is off for McDaniel. Daniel guarded by Green. Watch it go to 7. McDaniel falling away. That was almost a 3-point play. You and I were talking off air about how curious we were to see McDaniel in this game. Back-to-back games for her of career highs. But she has tried to take much of this game into her own hands. 1 for 2 on that trip. 5.6 to play here in the third. In the hands of Green. Sheldon launching a 3 off the front of the iron, and we head to the 4th, a 1-point game. We've been seeing fantastic performances from players other than J.C. Sheldon and Cheyenne Sellers. 6 points and 4 points apiece, respectively, as Bree McDaniel says, "I'll take that." Cannot finish on the other side, though.
Getting in those passing lanes, absolutely nothing for her. Heels on the 3-point line. I mean, you see it in the man and the zone. Hand always in Sheldon's face, just making it difficult, not even for her to score, but for her to even receive the ball.
Cotie McMahon, awkwardly. 3 seconds to shoot for Briggs. The step back. And in the hands of Celeste Taylor. Ohio State slowing it down, getting a direction from Coach McGuff. Parks is going to take it herself, barrels in for Ohio State.
And I love this celebration there that you saw in the replay by Sheldon, just loving players come off the bench and be able to go to work.
Celeste Taylor
they should, because I've gotten away with quite a few. I was a move. I love to like give a little nudge. So when I'm setting a ball screen.
You're more of a shoulder or a hip or a knee?
I was at everything. You're getting every ball screen.
Taylor Thierry, a strong take to the rim. In Ohio State, this is the largest lead we've had in this contest tonight. Cheyenne Sellers off the curl. It's blocked by Parks. What a recovery.
If your arm comes down, the refs are going to make that call.
Intensity dialed up here in the second half. Went to the bench early in the first quarter after a couple of turnovers. Came back in. Here she is performing late. Sheldon has not been able to get free either. Finds McMahon, forcing her way in.
It is such a fun player to watch. Just so athletic, such a tough body, able to get it together, gather in the paint, scoring, getting through two, drawing the contact, and counting the bucket.
She is a force, but there have been times this season, I'm thinking of the Michigan game, where she had 3 charges called against her, where it's affected how she plays and who she is on the court. Love to see confident take like that.
Absolutely. Still aggressive on attack. I think for McMahon, it's more so that body control, because she's a strong guard coming downhill, so you just have to have that body control. Still target more control.
Pushing all defenders out of the way, but then she's blocked. Another chance for the Buckeyes. They are working the offensive glass here in the fourth. Celeste Taylor. Thierry can't chase it down, but gets it right back. McMahon there, the freight train.
And it starts with that hustle from Thierry and a great cut by McMahon. But listen, I know as soon as a play is made on one end, I can't even like think about that, because then the play is going on the other end.
JC Sheldon still over from the floor. Riggs, she loves the mid-range. The ball's still going to be in Sheldon's hands, though. Mikulasikova, it's third quarter points. Going downhill, Celeste Taylor, a blocking. They're 5 for 10 down the stretch, something they hope doesn't haunt them once more.
And I was going to say down the stretch, Sloan, especially in the way this game's being called, the tempo, the aggressive attack downhill. Free throws on both ends are going to be so crucial.
Briggs, beautiful. Sheldon gets free from McDaniel, can't get it to go, and McMahon still not there with the lay-in. One more try for the Buckeyes.
This is it, gets her own rebound, puts it back up, then tips it to her players.
Taylor fouled by McDaniel.
Possessions, and that is a way to do it. Crashing the offensive glass, and that's what McMahon has been.
You feel it right there in this kind of moment. But a strong box out by Briggs.
Lack of size, yes, but you have guards rebounding for Ohio State, right? So it's just that effort as well as just that mindset of going in the crash and finding a body.
Sellers can't put it away. A foul on the ground. Another mid-range too, and Sellers gets it back. Stepping on the line. And into the front court, leaves it for Sheldon.
The Terps an aggressive man-to-man here. There, it's a good look for moving the ball, but I love that initial attack into the paint mindset every single time.
Still a 2-possession game. Sellers gets into the paint, and she is fouled. On the other side, Brown Turner also with 4. And a big free throw. Responded in the second half. She stayed on the floor. The Terps bringing the pressure. And they're already midway through the shot clock. Ohio State with the lead. Mikulasikova finding JC Sheldon, and that's her first bucket tonight. The Terrapins answer right back.
But that patience and finding the open Sheldon on the cut.
Sheldon dropping it off to Mikulasikova, an easy two. Shooting foul despite Sellers' cell jump. Brown Turner, strong take. McMahon snatches it away. Sheldon sprints ahead of everyone.
Looking for ways to set others up, to set herself up, and you got to credit her teammates being able to find her in those opportunities that she does get free.
Sheldon read it all the way and goes all the way. Briggs gets into the paint. And they're going to try and use every second. Sheldon leaves it for Taylor, slices through and scores.
A calming factor, patience and poise.
Cheyenne Sellers gets all the way to the rim. Maryland has yet to beat a ranked team this season, but 0 for 3 this season against the top 25.
She's had a next play mindset throughout this entire game, flipping offense to defense, just doing whatever she needed to do for the team.
17 of 19 at the line this season.
That's going to be crucial. Can you clean it up from the free throw line?
The Terps at risk of falling to 500 in Big Ten play. They go to Alexander, and she cans the three. Taylor will be the inbounder in this two-possession contest. And Thierry is fouled by Brown Turner. She helped this team when Sellers didn't have it going in the first half.
Small lineup, but lots of capable, lots of dynamic scorers. So this next possession is going to be crucial. It'll be huge.
Sellers has to push. Leaves it for the trailer. Alexander not there. Chased down by Sellers. She'll give it a go. Good hustle by Mikulasikova. Comes up a little bit gingerly. And staring down number 7. Big free throw from Mikulasikova. Going to be hard to decide on a dub chain in this locker room, but she is worthy of consideration. 2 for 2. Maryland will look for another quick score. Close defense out on the perimeter.
Yeah, Sellers got away with a double dribble there.
Let's go with a quick 2. Faith Masonis puts it away. And Sellers is going to dribble it out. And for just the 7th time since 2014, a Big Ten team defeats Maryland.